Hello. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to manage line type and line weight in the AutoCAD program. First, let's talk about line type. You can find the line type command right here in the Home tab Properties panel. This button, let me hover over it for you, it says line type. Or you can type the command line type, or the shortcut is LT for line type. And here's your line type manager window. This is going to show you all of the different line types you have loaded in your particular drawing file. It starts out as just the continuous or the plain solid line type. So if you want any more line types, you need to load them. You can do that right here in the load button. AutoCAD comes with many different line types. And so if you wanted, for example, a dashed line type, we could go down and find one. Let's choose the dashed line type to load right here. I'll select that, use OK, and you can see that it is now loaded in my drawing and it's listed right here. Now you can change the line type of your objects either individually or set them by layer. Let me show you how to do it individually first. Let's choose this line right here. Let's say we wanted to make this line into a dashed line. You wouldn't usually because it's a wall line, but just for example. All right, we can select it here. You can go to the Home tab Properties panel and use this pull down right here and select the dashed line. Notice that only the line types you have preloaded into your drawing are available on this list. So I could choose that right there. Let me undo that one. Undo. And show you another way. You can select your line, right-click, go to the Quick Properties, and choose a line type here. You could also select your object, come over to the Properties palette, and change the line type. Right there. Now, our line is the dashed line type, but that doesn't look like what I'd like it to be. It turns out that there is a line type scale that you need to set. And so if this is going to be a universal setting for your drawing, so you don't need to select the particular line before setting the line type. So the command is LT scale, SCALE, for line type scale. And in your command bar, it says enter a new line type scale factor. It looks like I want bigger. I want my dashes to be bigger. So I'm going to try, just visually, I'm going to try a scale factor of 5. Oh, that was good, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted. Let me try again. I'm going to hit return to repeat the last command, which was the LT scale. And you can see down here that it is telling me my line type scale factor is currently 5. I want it larger. I'm going to try 10. All right, that looks just how I want it, and so I will go ahead and leave my line type scale factor there. Now you can also control your line types by layer, and let me show you how we could do that. First of all, let me turn this one back to continuous. All right, looks better, doesn't it? Okay, in the Layer Properties Manager, which I have open right here, you can see our list of layers, and then you can see the properties that go along with them. And what we're interested in right here is line type. If this is hard for you to read, you can make these columns bigger by dragging them, by the way. Um, so what if I took this structure layer, for example, and changed it to a dashed line? All I did was select the layer and then click on this line type name of continuous. And this select line type window popped up. I'm going to choose the dashed line and hit OK. And maybe you can't see this, so I'm going to hide the, oops, hide my palette. And what happened is that immediately everything that was on that structure layer turned into a dashed line. So you can see that line type can be controlled by layer. Now, if you look closely, what about this line that I was turning into a dashed line earlier? Why is it still solid when everything else on this layer turned into a dashed line? Well, it turns out that when I turned it back to a solid line, I didn't pick the by layer option. I told it that it was always a solid line, a continuous line. Okay, so the rest of these, if we choose, for example, this line here and take a look at their properties, their line type is called by layer in the properties, and there's a little visual here just to help you figure out which line type that is. Okay, that particular line isn't set to always be a dashed line. It's set to always follow the layer line type. Take a look at this line that we were using earlier. And here in the properties palette, it's not set by layer, it's set continuous. This tells the line that it is always the continuous line type. It doesn't matter what the layer is set at. So by layer is will do everything in that layer unless they have their own line type set already. So let's talk about line weight. Line weight can also be set individually per item or can be set for the whole layer. In general, both of these, it's best to set them by layer and then only change the occasional or unique item. It's just easier to manage. So let's take a look at our layers right now. We have these layers in our hotel drawing. And here is where you would set the line type, the line weight for those layers. For example, our structure layer is set at 0.300 millimeters. All right. You can set them individually if you want this particular line to be a specific line weight. You can select it, come over to the Properties palette, and see right now it's set by layer and it's giving you a visual indication of that line weight. And I want to set it, let's set it something super thick, 1.4 millimeters. Wait, it doesn't look any thicker. It just looks the same. Right now, I don't have the line weights visually turned on. We're not seeing line weights in the file. We can turn that on using the line weight command. So you can come right here. So you can enter the line weight command by typing line weight or LW is our shortcut. And you get a window that says line weight settings. Here are some default settings. I prefer inches for my units, so I'm going to set that. There we go. Doesn't really make any difference, but just shows it a little bit different. Here is the setting for the line weight of your default if you don't set a line weight for your layer. And here is the check button that controls the display of your line weight. So I'm going to turn that on. Okay, so I've turned the line weights on, and you can immediately see the difference. Our structure lines are quite a bit thicker. See how thick they are in comparison to, let's see, what layer is that one on? Furniture. And take a look at the one line that I changed to the ridiculously thick line type. It is, in fact, ridiculously thick. In my practice, I routinely keep the line weight display off. Um, I feel it makes for a cleaner workflow, but that is a personal preference, and you're certainly welcome to turn the line weights on or off in your drawing. Okay, everybody, I hope this helped you control your line types and your line weights in AutoCAD.